It's now been just over a month since E3 2019 and all eyes really are on CD Projekt RED's Cyberpunk 2077, arguably the biggest and most ambitious game coming next year. Expectations and anticipation is through the roof right now, with interest only continuing to grow, especially with Keanu Reeves being revealed to be playing the infamous Johnny Silverhand, an established Cyberpunk character. Since E3 we've found out this role is not a cameo but one of the main characters. For the last few weeks there have been numerous Cyberpunk 2077 interviews going over all kinds of aspects of the game, from customization to romance to side content to expansions. And today we're going to go through some of the biggest new pieces of information that we have received, because we really have learned or gotten a better idea of what this game will offer. Additionally, we're also going to dispel some of the misinformation that unfortunately has been spread around, and of course touch on some of the new concept art, character, and gameplay images that CD Projekt RED has shared. But for most of this video, we're going to discuss CDPR's secret Cyberpunk 2077 ARG that is still ongoing. While everybody thinks CD Projekt RED is gone somewhat quiet, waiting next for PAX West, which is when CDPR plans to reveal publicly online the gameplay demo that was shown to those who attended E3 2019, they actually have for the last month been playing with fans with secret codes, secret websites, secret messages, and it appears it is leading to something big. So yeah, we have a lot to break down. If you have not already, do consider subscribing for all the latest Cyberpunk 2077 news and turn notifications on so you do not miss out on any new content. Like with the lead up to Red Dead Redemption 2's launch, I'm planning on upping the amount of videos made for Cyberpunk 2077 as news becomes more consistent. So yes, do expect me to be covering just about everything. Nonetheless, as you'll see in the background, since E3 2019 we have received a lot of new gameplay images, most of which are coming from the new gameplay demo that was shown to those who attended E3 2019. We got a look at some of the members of the Voodoo Gang, mentions to Johnny Silverhand, and our first look at cyberspace, a sort of virtual world of data that your brain turns into a physical landscape. In Cyberpunk 2077, it has seen some huge disturbances. But in a few gaming magazines, we have received a look at the Yaba Kusanagi bike, as well as some sort of junkyard, possibly the same one that Johnny Silverhand appears on, meeting V, our protagonist, in the E3 2019 cinematic trailer. CD Projekt RED has also shared Cyberpunk 2077's very unique collector's edition steelbook cover art, as well as the different styles featured in the game, which includes entropism, kitsch, neo-militarism, and neo-kitsch. I do have to admit, of all the artwork shared thus far for Cyberpunk 2077, these art posters look the best in my opinion. Now, more recently CDPR announced a Cyberpunk 2077 cosplay contest and included renders for characters that have been revealed. This includes our male and female protagonist V, Maman Brigitte, the leader of the Voodoo Boys gang, Placide, the Voodoo Boys second in command, Jackie Wells, a gun for hire, obviously he's been in a lot of the marketing thus far for the game, and Royce, the boss of the Maelstrom gang. There's also been a few images shared for other characters that include Sasquatch, the leader of the Brutal Animals gang, T-Bug, one of the best netrunners within Night City, also, looking mighty fine, Dexter Deshawn, one of the best fixers in Night City, and of course the infamous rocker boy Johnny Silverhand. We've actually since found out that Keanu Reeves' Johnny Silverhand is not making a cameo appearance like some had suspected, but is in fact one of the central characters of Cyberpunk 2077, having the second most dialogue. Additionally, some wondered how Johnny Silverhand was alive, because in Cyberpunk lore in 2024, during the Fourth Corporate War, he was defeated by Cyborg Adam Smasher, being cut in half by a shotgun, and then a nuke went off, destroying parts of Night City. So yeah, it wasn't specifically said he died, but it was, kind of implied. Anyway, he is back as a digital ghost, only visible to us, the player, but he does have a motivation, and that is finding his once girlfriend Alt Cunningham, who I believe is or was also a digital ghost. The story of Johnny Silverhand and Alt Cunningham and Cyberpunk 2020 is actually extremely tragic, but I have a feeling will have a big impact on the main narrative of Cyberpunk 2077. There was a lot of misinformation being spread around earlier this month in regards to how many Cyberpunk games CD Projekt RED is developing. It appears to be an unfortunate case of mistranslation, and what's actually happening is that CDPR has 3 teams working on Cyberpunk 2077, not 3 games being developed. Now, if you were curious how massive Cyberpunk 2077 will be in size, it reportedly will be twice the size of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, being at least 80 gigabytes, which with With us coming close to the end of this console generation, it seems like game size only continues to grow. Last year, Red Dead Redemption 2 came in at a whopping 100 gigabytes. For those who purchased the physical edition of RDR2, you were met to 2 Blu-ray discs, and I have to imagine that could be a possibility with Cyberpunk 2077. CD Projekt Red has said that they are treating consoles as first-class platforms for Cyberpunk 2077, and said the game would be amazing on there. They also emphasize that the game will of course be better on $2,000 PCs, but will still be great for console and low-end PCs. There's been a lot of curiosity with what post-launch content CDPR may be planning. We know that multiplayer is likely to be something coming after release, but CDPR has confirmed that they intend to have Witcher 3-like expansions. UI coordinator Alvin Liu told Prima Games, "We are talking about expansions in the future. We want to make sure everything's complete, but we also want to build open worlds. I know when I was playing The Witcher 3 and I finished everything, I still wanted to know what everyone was up to. I think we're going to have opportunities like that as well for Cyberpunk 2077. Before we move on to more gameplay details, I do now want to pivot to CDPR's ARG campaign that is still ongoing. As most of you know, CD Projekt Red has for years been known for the secret messages hidden within Cyberpunk 2077 marketing material. Heck, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt was first revealed all the way back in 2013 in Cyberpunk 2077's first teaser trailer. In early 2018, there was a very out-of-the-blue cryptic tweet posted on the official Cyberpunk 2077 Twitter account, posted actually on the 5-year anniversary date of the original teaser trailer, which simply said, "Beep." More recently, found within the game's Collector's Edition unboxing video was a link to a folder which included a secret message from CD Projekt Red to fans, which essentially boils down to an explanation of why they weren't releasing the new gameplay demo online during E3 2019, as well as why they felt pre-orders were important for the game. Right around this same time, this is actually when the secret ARG began, and it started with the following tweet posted on June 10th, which featured a bunch of numbers, kind of like Black Ops, posted in a way to make it look like the word samurai, but users immediately realized this was actually binary code that could be translated to say, "Seems you are not among the sheep after all. Want to play a game? Watch for the beeps." And this was obviously a callback to the original cryptic tweet posted all the way back in 2018, but it was actually so much more. Many recognized this secret message almost immediately, but didn't think anything of it, believing that this was it for now. But within days, CD Projekt Red updated the Cyberpunk 2077 pre-order page, and if you look at the light blue text at the top, you'll recognize an underscore symbol that is beeping or flashing, and players eventually realized that this was again another secret message, this time in Morse code, which when decoded was found to be coordinates of a building right next to CD Projekt Red's Los Angeles office. Now if you go check this location on Google Maps, nothing is found, as the last images of this location are from April 2019, but as was revealed right before E3 2019, CD Projekt Red's LA office got a nice Cyberpunk 2077 themed makeover, and one fan decided to go down to the office physically in real life and see if there were any clues around, and fortunately enough, there was. Taped on a door of CDPR's office was a QR code, which when scanned led to a cyberpunk.net website titled Aramis, an anagram of samurai. What this first secret website included was a few really important things. There was the following cryptic message, which obviously is just a mention of cyberpunk lore and where this current year 2019 fits into the cyberpunk timeline. The first corporate war was fought in boardrooms, the second was fought on battlefields, and the third was fought in secret. The fourth will be fought in the net, and every global power is in a race to develop the weapons that will be used in the conflict. Obviously, the fourth corporate war starts in 2021, which will lead to the partial destruction of Night City with a nuclear bomb going off. Furthermore, under this cryptic lore message, there was again another message from CD Projekt Red, which said the following: "Hey there, Chumba. If you're reading this message, it means E3 has officially started, and we're there with Cyberpunk 2077, front and center. We kicked things off big this year, announcing the release date, launching pre-orders, showing off a new trailer, and revealing the character of Johnny Silverhand. That's plenty already, but we've still got some surprises up our sleeves. Make sure to keep your eyes and ears open. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for being with us, your friends at CD CD Projekt RED. So yeah, there are more surprises on this page. There was obviously the new IP address 212.91.11.21, which is yet another SSH server, and if you actually look up above the IP address at the cyberpunk.net Aramis text and click the S at the end of this text, you'll download a password protected RAR file, and it didn't take long until players realized the first password was Johnny Silverhand. Now within this RAR file, it unlocked a text file titled NC, and within it what was included was the following cryptic message: "Things will happen, plans in motion, wait for more." And yeah, within this RAR file there was yet another RAR file, a second one that was again password protected. So listening to the advice of this cryptic message, players waited a few days until maybe a clue would emerge, and that's actually what happened. Lalea, the community manager of Cyberpunk 2077, posted randomly a tweet with just a bunch of random characters, but it turned out to be actually the password needed for the second RAR file. When unlocked, there was a file titled 4035, and opening onto a Word document, it was found to be a sequence of numbers. Again, players got to work, trying to figure out what these numbers meant or could be translated into, and eventually by converting the file name 4035 from octal to decimal, it was found to be 2077, so players took this as a clue for what they needed to do with the sequence of numbers. What this resulted in was more numbers, but players realized this was a more simple code to convert, as each number represented a letter's number value. What I mean by that is 1 is A, 2 is B, 3 is C, 4 is D, and so on and so forth. Eventually this gave players the phrase ping.tektorn, which when unscrambled, players realized it was an anagram of the next secret website, nightcorp.net. What's special about this website, besides all the anagrams of Nightcorp and small orange text in the background, and the play button that doesn't work yet, is the repeating sounds that happen every 24 hours. These are the 13 sounds that have been recorded, the time when they are played on the website, and the languages of each number recorded, as well as the gender of the individual speaking it.
0,
0,
4,
8, 6,
9,
6,
3,
6,
8,
7,
i
9.
So the numbers are in the following order: 00486963688719. And if you remove the 00, it turns out to be a Polish phone number, and when you call that number, it picks up with the following cryptic message:
/ uniform / Charlie Oscar Romeo Papa Tango Hotel India November Golf.
If you didn't pick up or understand what she said, it was / uniform / Charlie Oscar Romeo Papa Tango Hotel India November Golf, which this led to a Reddit user account / user / corp thing, which was registered just days ago, and right now this is where we are at. This Reddit user has posted a few comments on Cyberpunk related and other things like the Area 51 joke that's ongoing, but nobody knows what the importance of this user is yet. It appears they are acting like a pro-corpo individual based on some of the comments that they have made, like one post they responded to highlighted how players could be able to romance the Netrunner T-Bug, and this user responded saying, "Why though? She's not a corpo." So what this is leading to is anyone's guess, but judging by all the work and effort that's gone into this ARG, I have to imagine it's gotta be something big. Maybe a trailer or video from one of the antagonists of Cyberpunk 2077? That's just a random guess that I came up with right now, but this Reddit account was registered July 10th, 1 month following the start of this ARG, so right now we're waiting to see what this is leading to next. But let's continue to some of the more significant gameplay information that has been revealed or shared about Cyberpunk 2077, like romance. One of the more notable parts of The Witcher 3 was the amount of adult or mature content present. And with Cyberpunk 2077 being a full-on RPG with us being whoever we want to be with V, romance is of course expanded. CD Projekt RED's quest director told Games Radar, "We do have romances in the game, and I don't want to get into how many we have at this point. However, you can engage in relationships with different entities, and we believe that each of these NPCs is an interesting and strong character who would be quite memorable, and they have their own goals, they have their own ideas about the world and so on, and you can engage with them, interact with them, and their moments. Additionally, CDPR developer under the username Ben Zen Zimmerman posted on the official forums that players should expect nudity in the game when it makes sense. We don't want to shoehorn it in just for the sake of it, because that's the opposite of making a mature game. So most of it, like romances, will definitely depend on the choices you make for your character. However, due to the open nature of the game and the world, there will be some occasions where you will see some nudity. I would roughly compare it to how it was handled in The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. And of course, as was somewhat mentioned earlier, T-Bug could be a romance option. In other news, CDPR's lead quest designer teased that they are building a new Game Plus mode to encourage multiple playthroughs of the game. This same developer also revealed that our main car will act like Roach from The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, meaning because our vehicle is equipped with AI, we can call for it and it will self-drive its way to us. Pretty cool. Since we are on the topic of vehicles, there's still no word on vehicle customization, how it may work, but we have found out that we will have access to garages that can store multiple vehicles, and as we drive around Night City, there will be radio stations for us to tune into. However, even though we haven't received information on vehicle customization, we have received some details on the weaponry at our disposal and the customization available with that. CDPR told Gaming Bolt you can customize the weapons in a number of ways. You can attach scopes, you can attach silencers, things like those. It's based of course on a specific weapon and how many slots for improvements they have. As for how many types of weapons we have, I remember just to number them. We have quite many of them. So there are melee weapons, katana, hammer, knife, nanowire, which is basically these wires that you can use to fight, but you can also use them if you're a netrunner to hack remotely into people or devices. On top of that, we have a number of ranged weapons. We have heavy guns, light machine guns, revolvers, sniper rifles. Moving to the vast open world that we'll soon explore, CDPR provided new details and gave insight into one specific new location. The Badlands are the surrounding district around Night City. Players can leave Night City and just explore that area, an area that is mostly sort of destroyed basically after all the droughts and everything that has happened in the 50 years from 2020 to 77. And you can explore that. There are specific quests prepared for that, also open world content, so that's definitely covered. It's not only the city that you are visiting. Even more interestingly, and this really reminds me of Dragon Age Origins and all the possible replayability the game may offer, you can be one of the nomads as a player, and you can start there, being part of a family of the nomads. You could call them a tribe that is living in cars and they are just driving over Badlands. They are doing various jobs for fixers and for people in the city and doing various deals. I don't want to disclose too much because not to spoil the story. Speaking of factions, besides the Voodoo Boys and animals that are featured in the E3 2019 gameplay demo, some of the newly confirmed gangs that we will encounter in Night City include the violent, now Latino-only Valentinos, returning from Cyberpunk 2020, and Tiger's Claw, defensive combat gang who claims turf in Japantown and has been rumored to be backed by Megacorp Arasaka. Continuing forward, we have also received some details on what players should expect with side quests from CDPR's lead quest designer. I think there's going to be joy, I think there's going to be tears, there's going to be laughter, and yeah, there's going to be anger. We are going to give you all that because this is what we are doing. Like, that's one of my main goals. I want to move the players like they're going to feel it so hard, and we are coming for you. Now, there have been a few things confirmed to not be happening. Like, for one, CDPR actually wanted or would have liked Meryl Streep to appear, but a more substantial thing that unfortunately has changed is multiple apartments. It was recently revealed that V will only have one apartment, and players will not be able to customize or decorate it. Clearly, something changed, and maybe this feature was cancelled due to time constraints, but post-launch with expansion, maybe this is something that CDPR considers, especially if players really make it known that this is something that they want. Now, to the final few pieces of news that I do want to share, it has been revealed that players will have different life paths, which will impact the narrative. CDPR describes life paths as the origin of our character that we choose at the beginning of the game when we create the character. So for example, you might imagine that if you're a street kid, you have an easier time talking to different gangs. Or if you're a corporate, you might have an advantage over people from the corporations since you know how they think and how they operate. This is just further insight into how much role-playing mechanics are in place that will provide players with a wide array of options to construct their very own V. There is said to be 3 different life paths, and one of which I mentioned earlier being the Nomad life path. The other 2 is a Corpo and a Street Kid, as briefly described here. Lastly though, I do want to mention some of the mini-games that have been confirmed. In a Tumblr post it was revealed players should expect a complex hacking game, which will come with various rewards depending on how much control you're able to obtain over the network you're hacking into. It's also been revealed that there will be a shooting range, street races, and boxing matches that our protagonist V can take part in. So yeah, we went through a lot of new Cyberpunk 2077 information, and in recent weeks a lot has been shared. Much that we already knew about, but there's still so much that is unknown. For now, we wait to hear and see more from CD Projekt RED, but Cyberpunk 2077 is now less than 277 days away, and the anticipation, at least for myself, continues to grow, especially with the very complex and secretive ongoing ARG. Anyway, what do you think the Cyberpunk 2077 ARG will result in or lead to, and what's your opinion on all the game details and news that we discussed today? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below, but thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy this video or found any informative value, and make sure to follow my other social media accounts for updates on new videos. Links are always down in the description below. I'm most active on Twitter giving opinions on news that I do not always get into video form, so do make sure to follow me over there. Also check out my Discord for all sorts of conversation and discussion on games like Cyberpunk 2077, and again, thank you for joining. Consider subscribing for more videos like this. I'll see you later.